All right. What's up, guys? Good morning and happy August 24th, 8:24. I feel like I've been duped. I've been told we were going to get a Kobe Bryant Netflix documentary today. I feel duped. They've been talking about it for a year, and here comes the day, and crickets. So maybe we short Netflix today. But guys, what we'll do here is at our daily chart, and then we'll look at the window right here for the big three signals. All right. So as far as the where do we go from here? We got the big push. Now we finally got the pullback here towards that 21. And granted, we are trading under the 21, so it's never the best thing for the bulls. But we're not really getting hammered here either. So as far as the big three signals here on the S&P futures, things are pretty neutral. We don't have any buy signals or sell signals. So a little bit of progress compared to yesterday, where pretty much on the hourly chart. Let me see. Yeah, so on the hourly chart here, pretty much since Monday morning, we've had a sell signal here on the hourly chart. And I believe it's the first, let me think. I think it was the first hourly sell signal in like 40 days. Right now, we're trying to cancel that out. So that on the futures now for the SPY. Pull up the daily chart, clean this up real quick. All right, so a little bit of progress there on the futures. And then for the SPY, major thing I'm going to watch today is going to be that 15-minute chart. So for now, we got the 15-minute squeeze, or high compression 15-minute squeeze with the sell signal. So if the market's going to catch a bid here, if we're going to get any kind of pop back towards the upside, we have to cancel out that 15-minute sell signal. Otherwise, that continues to suggest that 15-minute squeeze wants to fire short. You fire a squeeze short and you're taking out your previous support. It can get a little bit slippery. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here today for the S&Ps. If you look at the hourly chart, even if we're going to continue to trend lower from here, at some point we should expect a pretty good pop back towards that hourly 21. So that puts the S&Ps around 416, 417. And we'll call it 418 because you also have the gap to fill here as well. So even if we're going to trend lower, at some point we should get a little bit of kickback towards that hourly 21. Kind of like back here. We get this big gap up, but we get a little bit too cooked. 2 to 3 ATR above that 21. So even if we are going to continue to trend higher, you should expect a little bit of a dip there at some point. So for the S&Ps, that would kind of be the target. If we can cancel out that 15-minute sell signal, then we're pretty oversold on an intraday basis. But then at that point, we'll be oversold with signs of exhaustion. Meaning, at least in the short term, the bears are kind of out of gas. And when the bears are out of gas, that's when we can play for that pop. So I think, something cheap up there, maybe even 420, like a butterfly, maybe some cheap calls, could be a pretty nice play here, but only if we can clean up that 15-minute chart. Because of that 15-minute squeeze, that fire is short. Now you're taking out the lows on the week. So there's pretty much the playbook for the S&Ps. As far as all the crowd favorites, I guess we'll start off here with Amazon. I'll do the flexible grid. Here we go. Right. So as far as we got the big rip. Right now we're getting the S&P, the QQQs, Teslas, Googles, Nvidias. Everything's kind of pulled back here. So do we start to buy the dip? Let me get my notes up here, guys. But really, for me, it's kind of this simple. Right, for bullish trades, swing strategy, here's what I'm looking for. And if the setup doesn't offer this, I can't look for that bullish trade. So we are looking for mainly price action above daily 21 EMA, ideally squeezes, and then of course for me, big three buy signals. If this criteria is not met, no trade. So again, for me, it's pretty simple. Do I look to get long the S&Ps right now for that swing trade strategy? Well, are we in the squeeze on the daily chart? No. Do we have price action above the 21? No. And then up here on the big three, do we have any buy signals? No. So I can't be looking to buy calls on the S&Ps and swing them for 2 to 3 weeks. So what about the QQQ? Squeeze, no. We're under the 21 and we're neutral. Okay, what about XLK, the tech ETF? Under the 21, 15-minute sell signal. Semiconductors. It's been pretty good. Okay, we got a daily squeeze. But all the squeeze tells me is we're building up energy and we're getting ready for that next big directional move. I can't think that big directional move is going to be one to the upside if we're under the 21 and we have a 30-minute sell signal. So for me, guys, a lot of things are kind of like shelved right now. QQQ, XLK, SMH means NVIDIA is pretty much shelved. AMD. Because here's what I want to see. We get the big pop. Then we get the flush. We hold support perfectly. Then you get continuation pretty quickly. It makes for good use of your cash, right? You're in and you're out. AMD kind of looks like something that could trade back and forth for a bit. Or it could fire short. Yeah, so a lot of things are kind of off limits right now. How about Google? Big G's looking a little bit rough, right? 2 closes under the 21, 30-minute and 15-minute sell signals up here. Looking a little bit rough there, Google. So here's some pretty stuff. I think for now, a huge part of your watch list should be energy. And a lot of that comes back to the weekly squeeze here. And even though XLE's had a good couple of weeks, from the perspective of that weekly squeeze, this really hasn't even gotten out of bed just yet. So I'm kind of targeting the highs here. That all assumes, of course, a weekly squeeze holds good structure. But you've got your weekly squeeze for now. Then if we check out the daily chart here, as of yesterday, the daily squeeze officially fires to the upside. Now, do I think we load up on calls up here? Ideally not. Ideally, we get some sort of flush. But for now, I'm looking for continuation in good old XLE. So remember, this is kind of maybe, right? We'll see, but maybe, this was your leadership along with UNG pretty much all year up into the summer. So as far as XLE goes, we did have a trade here in Exxon. We cashed out yesterday. You see, where's Exxon going to open? Yeah, a little bit higher. So Exxon, we cashed out yesterday on some calls, but pretty much the same structure. Pretty daily squeeze. On the big three, we got the green 1 hour, 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute. Pretty bullish on the inside. And then flip to the weekly chart. It's a beautiful weekly squeeze. So we're looking for a dip here in Exxon. And then probably the strongest, not probably, the big Oxy. And check this out. Not too many of these in the market. The buy signal on the daily chart. So daily squeeze fires to the upside. We've got green big three almost on every time frame, like daily to the 15-minute, and then you get the big whopping weekly. This is actually a perfect weekly chart. Huge push, like crazy push. That's $30 to, yeah, that's big time. $30 to 70. So 100% in change. But here's your first back test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks in a row. Perfect support and structure. This takes off the top. Got a lot of room to run there. So it could be Oxy, it could be ExxonMobil, it could be the big Fang here. I think Chevron looks pretty good. I think for now, anything XLE based. From a swing trade approach, I think you're looking for those pullback entries. From a shorter term, day trade / overnight perspective, you could be looking for these end of day squeezes. So let's see, Oxy's going to gap up a bit here this morning, but into the close yesterday, see this 15-minute squeeze here with the buy signal. Now it's extended on the daily chart, so you can't be too shocked if you gap down. But as far as looking for a little bit more, these end of day squeezes can be pretty clutch. All right, so energy and then natural gas. And then natural gas. These, I think, for now are two spots to focus on. So for UNG, daily squeeze fires to the upside. And then the weekly chart, you've also got a big weekly squeeze here. So this pattern, huge push. Then you put in your high. Then you get the flush. Then that next weekly squeeze takes you through the previous highs. So then you put in your high. You get the big flush. Here's the next weekly squeeze. So now the question is, can that weekly squeeze fire long? And that was a good, let me see, 16 to 32. These weekly squeezes can trigger some really big moves. Like that's a double in 2-3 months. So I do think for UNG here, if you could get a weekly close above 33, I think it's poised to fire that weekly squeeze to the moon. So we grabbed a couple of calls here in the options room yesterday. Daily 4-hour and 2-hour buy signal. So I think any dip down towards $30, if this holds support, could be a pretty good buy the dip opportunity. But the reasons I like UNG and XLE, they fit that criteria. At least for now, SMH, XLK, AMD, Google, the Facebooks, what about Netflix? Curious. And then Netflix is, mainly the S&Ps. To me, they don't fit that criteria. Because think of what I'm looking for if I buy the dip. I'm looking for 2, maybe 3, 4 days later, I'm cashing out and taking my profits on that continuation. So my whole thinking is, if that's going to happen, we have to hold and we have to print some buy signals. So kind of tough to look at the chart right now and think, yeah, there's a big probability we're going to push back here towards the highs. Not until it all shapes up. So for the S&Ps, the mission today, you got to axe that 15-minute sell signal. Then maybe we can carve out a path here towards that hourly 21. Quick peek here at the futures. A little bit of life. A little bit of life here, mate. And then a few more things, guys. I do a couple more charts to show you as far as a couple potential trade ideas. But of course, we got to keep an eye here on the dollar. So the dollar has the full bull stack. Daily 4-hour, 2-hour, all the way down to the 5-minute. Which basically means the dollar is on steroids. It's juicing. So keep a close eye on this. difficult to think the market's going to kind of rebuild and get popping back towards the upside if the dollar breaks out here. And for now, this looks like something that wants to break out. Daily squeeze that actually fires long. And from head to toe here, pretty damn bullish. So, if you're looking for that pop in the market, I think ideally what you want to see is the dollar kind of runs out of steam up here at resistance, maybe starts to pull back towards that 21. I think if that can happen, QQQ SPY calls probably work really well. The dollar breaks out and gets stupid here, probably see the market trade a little bit lower. So kind of use that as a gauge for your trade ideas. Like what I would kind of look at and do is like, all right, if we can take out, yesterday's, pick your spot. I think under 108, you probably lean into SPY and QQQ calls with the idea the dollar is going to take a little bit of a chill pill. And then, of course, you got HYG, the junk bonds. They kind of totally bombed here. So that doesn't paint the most bullish picture for the equities market. So a few things to take into consideration there, my friends, but I wouldn't look at the S&Ps and say that the bulls have lost all the progress. I'm not ready to get long just yet, but at the same time, I don't look at the S&Ps and think let's short the crap out of it. So patience on that end, and then a couple more setups here. Shout out to Cody, the teammate over at Simpler. He called this one out yesterday, and because it has that squeeze, the price action above the 21, and the buy signal combo, we took some calls here in the mastery. So we're looking for 33 to 34. Larry Bird to Shaq. Looking for a nice push there. You've got Alcoa. Notice how all these trades look the same. Daily squeeze at the 21 with a couple buy signals. So you got Alcoa, and then you got the big cat here. Caterpillar actually shapes up really good. I might need to take some cat here today. No daily squeeze, but we do hold good support here at the mean. And we've got the 1 hour through the 5 minute going green. So for today, Caterpillar, Alcoa, Freeport, the energy names, and natural gas. In terms of bullish ideas, those are the things I'm going to focus on. If the S&Ps, and only if, we can cancel out that 15-minute sell signal up here on the big three, then I think you might get a little kick, at least back towards your hourly 21. So a few things for you guys there. Before I jump in the chat, let me take a quick peek here at the VIX. Tell me the VIX is important. That's what they say, guys. That's what they tell me. VIX. I think back under 23. It all kind of cools down a bit here. But all right, if you got anything you want to take a look at, guys, any chart requests, let me know here. We got a good, we get about 10 minutes or so. Got to be in the options room for the open. Good morning, Andrew. Good morning, Big G, Mike, Miss Cheryl, Terry, Jace, Double B, the Green Beans. Cheryl, nice job. You took a Chevron. Yeah, Chevron was pretty tempting yesterday. Just from the perspective of it, it wasn't as extended as like the Oxys, the Exxon Mobils. So for today, you've got that 15-minute combo. Yeah, look at that. I mean, this is kind of what we saw yesterday in all of them. All of them meaning Chevron, Oxy, Exxon Mobil. Beautiful gap up. Pretty much consolidation into the close. But with that consolidation comes a 15-minute squeeze. A lot of times that 15-minute squeeze prints that buy signal, they can make for pretty good continuation into the following session. Yeah, look at Exxon. Pretty. Oxy. Yeah, there's a few here. XLE. Yeah, there's a few of them. Good work, Cheryl. I like it. I like energy for now. Yeah, Jace, you are good at those trades. And I like that. I like that you have a bread and butter. Everyone needs a bread and butter. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Foot Locker. Yeah, I like that too. I like that short. I mean, man, even if it just pulls back to to +2 ATR, even if it just pulls back to the extension, those puts you paying nicely. I guess they're selling some sneakers, huh? Yeah, I do like that niche though. Frank, good morning. Ooh, Tesla. All right, KK. ABBV and Tesla. We'll do ABBV first. I'd have to lean short for now. We're 1 dot, so today will be 2, into a low compression squeeze. But not even so much a squeeze thing, just more so under that 21. With a handful of sell signals under the surface, probabilities kind of suggest there's a better chance this looks to break short. So if you look at the inverse chart, minus ABBV, I'd want to work my bullish playbook. I'd be thinking we could take out the high. Brand new daily squeeze, support at the 21, 2 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute buy signal. To me, that would all point towards, at the very least, we're going to test resistance. So with the real deal here, I'm going to be thinking we're going to test support, at least for now. And then Tesla, do we have the stock split today? No, not yet. Not yet. Tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. I feel kind of duped here, too. I was thinking 951K before the stock split. But yeah, I tell you what, Tesla holds up pretty good. So compare the chart here to NVIDIA, AMD, Amazon, Google. This holds up a lot better. Brand new daily squeeze. Putting the stock split aside, just based on the current chart, if I could get a few buy signals here on a lower time frame, I'd probably look for a push back towards 950. I think it holds up really well here, as does the Big Apple. Apple holds up really good as well. Yeah, so it'll be an interesting one, Tesla there. Cheryl, really good question. Really good question. Better to join the mastery or the options room? Here's the benefit of the options room. And for what it's worth, I listen to the options room almost all day. The benefit is you're taking value from a lot of different traders. And each of the different traders on the roster has a different skill set. Right? So you got a guy like T.G. Watkins. Like this guy's understanding of the moving averages is crazy. Like I've never seen anything like it. You got a guy like Sam. Him and I trade pretty similar patterns and setups, but he's got such a good understanding of the macro picture, right? So like a lot of what I talk to you guys about is actually coming from things that I learned from my own teammates, right? The whole dollar, the whole Dixie and HYG thing, it's never something I looked at. but I've taken that from my teammates, right? And each trader's got a different niche. So that, Cheryl, I think is the benefit of the options room. Now, at the same time, I think one of the goals of the options room is, expose traders to different styles of trading. And then that way they can kind of find who they really, what's the word I'm looking for? Who you end up gravitating towards. Like what strategy resonates with you. There's the word. You find a person, you find a strategy that resonates with you. And then potentially you look to get a bit more involved in, that specific strategy through something like a mastery or a class. So the short answer would be, if you want to just continue to learn about, this one style of trading, then the best choice would be the mastery. If you're looking for knowledge from a handful of traders who all have a different expertise, then I don't think there's a better place than the options room. So hopefully that makes sense. There we go. That's what I like to hear. Good stuff. Yeah, so again, and sure, I'd love to have you in a mastery. So I'm not trying to steer you towards the options room, but, again, just being transparent, Cody, another one of my teammates in the options room, he called out Freeport yesterday. All right, Cody's looking at Freeport. Let me take a look. Oh, yeah, this is my trade. Daily squeeze above the 21 with buy signals. That's my trade. Now, if the trade doesn't work, that's on me. Right? It's not Cody's trade. It's my trade at this point, as far as my cash goes. But in the event this trade works, there's a couple $1,000 in my pocket just from a teammate's call out. So different things to consider there, Cheryl. But yeah, Aaron, that's awesome to hear. That's awesome to hear. Like right now, JC is looking at UNH. I'm not going to look at UNH just yet. If it can get back above the 21, couple buy signals, then I'm all about it. So things to consider, but awesome questions. And yeah, Aaron, that's awesome. So Anil, AMD here, or NVIDIA rather. For me to want to get long NVIDIA, this would have to crank out at least a couple closes back above the 21. That's kind of step one. Oh, you know what? Oh, we got earnings tonight, guys. That's right. Ooh, big night. Big night. Yeah, so get your popcorn ready. We'll see what's up tomorrow after earnings. I mean, either way, for me to want to get long, I want to see price action back above the 21 EMA here on the daily chart. Then I'd kind of take it from there. But yeah, we got earnings tonight. They already kind of issued like a warning, so to say. So I don't think the expectations are huge kind of going into the announcement. I think all the dirt is out there, so to say. That'll be a good one to watch. That'll be a good one to watch. Sama, in my small account this week, I made, not that it matters, but in my smaller account, I made 12 or 1,300 coming into the week on the S&Ps. I think on Exxon, that was good for 1,100, 1,200 a profit. I lost 500 dicking around in Apple. And now we've got positions in UNG and Freeport in Div 5. If those hit the target, those should come in at around $1,000 a piece or so. Hugo, PBA. Always makes you think of that beer. PBR. Oh, great setup. Yeah, great setup. I'm not familiar with it, but great setup. Squeeze, check. At the 21, check. Couple buy signals. Couple checks. I like it. I like it. Yeah, Andrew, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I did yesterday. Right, Cody calls out Freeport. Fits my criteria. I take that ball and run with it. I think that's the beauty of a room like the options room. It's not that you're going to take every trade suggestion, but you're in a group. You got that camaraderie, and if you know your go-to trade, 100 sets of eyes is better than one, so to say. Like, and I'll admit, a lot of my better trade ideas, a lot of times they're things I miss. I'm like, okay, I didn't see that in the scan results, but good thing, so and so called it out. Now I can look to take action on it. Awesome question. Awesome question. And guys, I do got to run here. Cheryl, so I am in the options room Monday through Friday, and it alternates. I'm usually in there from the open, the first hour of the session, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Tuesday, Thursday, I'm in there like mid-afternoon. And then in the mastery, I'm in there live on Thursdays, Fridays, and Sunday morning. But all right, my friends, I got to cut you loose here from one room to the next. But as always, I appreciate your time. Always good questions, always good to chat. Hope you found it helpful, and I will talk to you guys soon. Be safe today, and I will see you on... Chandler's having some microphone difficulties, so I might do his Friday session.